we are escalating the way that we show up. The morning routine should be fucking gold. The attitude towards ourselves should be gold. There's victim mentality creeping in. There's feeling sorry for ourselves creeping in. Everybody, for the rest of this fucking week, I want to see stepping up.
I think during COVID, with massive disruption to everyone's lives, what I found is that actually I'd lost a sense of self as a man, as a dad, as a husband, and the reality is that my routines, everything had really been changed, and actually pretty permanently. And these are the kind of things that you don't really notice; you just kind of slip into, until it gets to a point where actually trying to get back out of it again and get back into a good place was actually quite difficult. And for me, the conscious decision to go forward with the mastermind was to say that I really wanted to move forward and to kind of get those routines back in my life, and to be the person that I wanted to be, as opposed to coasting, really. And I think that's where I got to. So I think starting the process, there's a really logical way to joining James and the mastermind, and that's, you've got your 5-day challenge, and that really focuses on those pillars and starting to kind of give you that knowledge. But actually for me then, I wanted more than that. I wanted to progress more. So there's a 28-day challenge, and that really embeds a lot of things. It's around how to plan, really kind of showing you how to kind of build a routine, to make things consistent, actually to have a vision about what you want to do, understanding what distractions are, really kind of, there's a whole host of information that you get through that. I think the most important aspect of working in the mastermind with James is that it has to come from you, and his one rule really is that you have to show up and you have to meet him halfway. And I think it's teaching that. It seems really basic and really obvious, but actually it's often the thing that's missing, in the sense that actually it's quite easy to give up. Quite often I've had New Year's resolutions where you're going to say, well, I'm going to lose this amount of weight, etc., and actually by January it's done, and kind of we're giving up. What you get here and what the process builds in you is something that lasts, as opposed to something that's just a fad and that will just go away over time. So the mastermind is a huge community. Well, it was huge for me anyway. So there's probably about 100, 150 people in that community. The great thing about it is that obviously it's led by James. He produces loads of content through the platform that you can consume as and when you see fit. And for me, I'm still ploughing through that. There's so much more content to go through. But the benefit of it beyond that is actually there's 100+ people in there who are all trying to do the same thing as you. They all have the same challenges, and actually it's a really supportive community. So actually, if you're not, sometimes actually you can have hard weeks. It's not like these weeks are gonna, you're not gonna have a hard time, but actually it's people there who can help you through it. Some people have experienced some of the things that perhaps you're going through, and generally it's probably a community that's I've just never experienced such a positive and uplifting community. One of the things that we do as part of the mastermind, as part of working with James, is that you have a 10-year vision, and actually that's quite hard to work out to sometimes, but it's good to have a direction, and it works its way back to 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, 3 months, and actually that kind of gives you a process as to how you're going to get there. For me, we had a 1-year plan in terms of what I wanted to achieve. One of those things was to do the half Ironman, which has been done. I mean, when I started, I was really struggling to do 5k. So to have been able to do 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike ride and 13 mile run, I just never thought that would happen. And actually the sense of achievement from being able to do that has proven to me that actually just by showing up, really with little professional training, that can be done. For me, family life is so much better. We've had a 3rd child to add more chaos into the mix. But actually, we've dealt with that a lot better, and I do think having a plan and being kind of more in control has meant that I've been there to support more effectively than I have done in the past, and be more present for my kids. Even though there's more of them and there's less time, I feel like there's more quality time going in there. if you're thinking about making the investment, what I would say is actually just remember that you're making an investment in yourself. The reality is that I was quite happy, and actually there wasn't really any doubt in my mind to make that investment in myself because I knew it would pay off. You know, it's been great to have a plan for a year and have that focus. I think a testament to working with James, working as part of the mastermind, has been actually achieving that within 6 months has surpassed my expectations, and actually has meant that I'm able to drive on to the next things.